This is your AESH Energy News Minute for Tuesday, October 18, 2022. In mainstream news, CNBC reports France's nuclear energy strategy, once its pride and joy, faces big problems this winter. France faces a winter of discontent, energy analysts say, as deep-rooted problems with its nuclear-heavy energy strategy raise serious questions about its preparedness for the colder months. A long-standing source of national pride, France generates roughly 70% of its electricity from a nuclear fleet of 56 reactors, all operated by state-owned utility EDF. It makes France home to the world's largest fleet of reactors after the US and ensured Paris was less exposed than its neighbors to a dramatic cut in Russian gas supplies. Bloomberg headline: Ukraine, latest. Russian strike hits energy facility in Kyiv. An energy facility that supplies Kyiv was hit by a Russian strike on Tuesday, said the deputy head of Ukraine's presidential staff, Kyrylo Tymoshenko, as Moscow targeted energy infrastructure across the country in fresh attacks. Ukraine said it shot down 38 of the 43 drones that Russia used to launch strikes on Monday, accusing Moscow of using Iranian-made devices to hit civilian targets. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed gratitude to troops who have intercepted attacking drones, saying, "Every destroyed drone is a life saved." The Financial Times reports Toyota was the Prius pioneer but is struggling with the leap to electric. Wall Street Journal headline: Russia wipes out Exxon's stake in succulent oil and gas project. The Kremlin has pushed ExxonMobil Corporation out of a major Russian oil and gas project and transferred the Texas oil giant's stake to a Russian entity, according to the U.S. company. Moscow blocked Exxon's efforts to transfer operatorship and sell its 30% stake in the Sakhalin-1 venture in Russia's Far East for months and has now wiped out Exxon's stake entirely. Exxon on Monday described Moscow's move as expropriation and said it had pulled out of Russia. Forbes headline: Africa is on the path to digital transformation of renewable energy. In Africa, we are already seeing the devastating effects of climate change, even though the continent produces less than 4% of the world's carbon emissions. Temperatures on the continent have risen faster than the global average, resulting in tropical storms in Madagascar and Mozambique, flooding in South Africa, and one of the worst droughts ever seen in the Horn of Africa. According to the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, 40 million people in Africa could be pushed into extreme poverty by 2030 due to the ripple effects of climate change. We need to act now to prevent further damage and suffering. BBC reports. What is the energy price cap and how high could bills go? The government has reduced the amount of help it will offer with energy bills. The announcement came as part of its reversal of almost everything in September's mini-budget. The government says the bill for a typical dual-fuel household which pays by direct debit will be £2,500 a year. Average household bills had been expected to rise to £3,549 a year before the government set the new maximum charges. However, most households aren't typical, and your bill depends on how much energy you actually use. EnergyLiveNews.com reports. Pipeline to UK's largest LPG storage facility given go-ahead, Flogas Britons, has been granted planning permission to build a gas pipeline from Bristol Port to LPG storage terminal at Avonmouth. Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, supplier Flogas Britain has been granted planning permission to construct a gas pipeline from Bristol Port into the UK's largest LPG storage terminal at Avonmouth, near Bristol. The pipeline will have the capability to import LPG and bio-LPG. The Avonmouth storage facility is considered the largest of its kind in the UK, with the capacity to store 34,564 tons of LPG. PowerGrid.com reports. Can the mining sector electrify? This group thinks it can. Partners in the pilot include oil major Shell, energy storage provider Skeleton, battery provider Microvast, electronics company Staubli, sensor and autonomy software provider Carnegie Robotics, energy management firm Heliox, microgrid integrator Spiri, industrial automation firm Alliance Automation, and EPC provider Worley. Along with the news, Estonia-based Skeleton Technologies launched its super battery, which combines characteristics of supercapacitors and batteries. This has been your AESH Energy News Minute for Tuesday, October 18, 2022. If you want more global energy news and real-time alerts, hit the subscribe button now and follow us on social media.